YouTube. How are ya? Okay. Hold on. Here we go. I feel like my Wi-Fi is not fantastic today, friends. Let's see what we got going on. How are you guys? Happy Thursday. That's fun and new. Also, because it's Thursday morning, I might be talking to myself, which is fine. Let's see if I can get myself to pull up here. We shall see. Oh,
Talking to myself,
nope.
Which is fine.
We don't want to hear that, do we? Okay. Fantastic. So, welcome to Online Steps to Success. So, we came back live last week, and one, thank you for the messages and the encouragement. That was super helpful. And I love hearing your reactions to what we talked about last week. So this week we are going to dive into kind of a 12-week series of the past 12 years and all the things that I've learned each year in my business, and the things that are still relevant and the things that are not relevant anymore, and the things that have really never changed at all, that are always the same. So I'm really excited. One of my biggest goals is for you to walk away with a very practical action step at the end of all of this. So make sure that you stay tuned and you get your action step for next week. So welcome to Online Steps to Success. I'm so glad that you're here. My name is Allison Dahlke. And as always, my goal for you and for us showing up live every week is for you. I just want to help you dream bigger, work smarter, change yourself, and change the world around you through your business. And I believe that that's possible. And that's going to be our focus. So I'm super glad you're here. I'm going to try not to touch my computer screen. We will see what happens. Hi, Amy on YouTube. Good morning. Lori is live from South Carolina. Hi, how are you guys? The rest of you can tell me where you're from, because I love seeing where you're from. It's like my favorite thing. While you're telling me that, I'm going to tell you who this is for. And last week we talked a lot about kind of a shift I'm making with what this is, what this training is. I think last year I sort of slipped into supporting the hobbyist in this business. And while I love a hobbyist, and if you are a hobbyist, I'm so glad you're here. That's really not what our focus is going to be moving forward. This really is geared towards business builders. It's for those of you who are leaders or are becoming leaders in the industry. If you've got a big goal with your business, this is definitely for you. A lot of what we talk about just is not going to be geared toward the hobbyists. But like I said, if you are a hobbyist, I'm glad you're here. But as always, I want you to take things that work for you, and I want you to throw out the things that don't. Okay. Part of this is all about you learning more about yourself. The more you learn about yourself, the better you're going to be at the business. Okay. Hi, Amanda. Hi, Karen. Hi, friends. Oh, there's another South Carolina. South Carolina's on fire today. We also have Vancouver, Washington. Fantastic. Good morning from Dallas. Good to see you guys. Red Bud, Illinois. You're watching at work. Okay, don't get in trouble, Hillary. Oh, Bob's watching from North Liberty, Iowa. Fantastic. Okay, so let's dive in and get started. I want to honor your time and my time. I mentioned before that I've been in the business for 12 years. So I've been at the top level of our business for 12 years. And over the next 12 weeks, we're going to talk about some of the things that I learned in the past 12 years, the good, the bad, the ugly, things that have changed, the things that are still the same. So this week, we're talking about my very first year. So if you're just joining us, you're getting the very first year in the business. And as I was preparing for today, I was just a little shocked at how many things that I did back then, over a decade ago, that are still incredibly relevant today to growing this business. I think we I talk a lot about how much this business changes and has changed from year to year and how we have to be willing to adapt and change with it. But the opposite is also true. So much of the basic principles of direct sales have stayed the same. It's more our methods have changed. Technology has changed, right? Those sorts of things. But so much of it is really the same. And so we're going to kind of dive into that. And I'm really excited to share with you some things today, because I feel like going back to look through kind of my process in that first year, it really opened my eyes to some things that I'd forgotten about and some things that I didn't realize that I did. So I'm excited. So every week, like I mentioned before, at the end of our chat, I'm going to leave you with an action step for you to take when you're done watching. Last week, our action step was for you to figure out what you actually want from your business and why. As always, if you missed that recording, you can go back, or if you missed it, you can go back and watch the recording. But we talked a lot about why on earth are you doing this in the first place? Because it really, really matters, and we're only going to build on that today. So this week is all about that first year and what I learned in the business. I was looking back through my first notebook when I joined and processing kind of how I felt in that season. Look at my notebook, old 5-star. Good old, what's funny is I don't have any other notebook that is this ugly. So it makes me laugh. But I was going through just like my notes of the things that I did. And I really back then, I didn't really have anybody guiding me. I didn't really have anybody saying this is what to do. I was just showing up on the training, like the training we had available. And I was just taking notes and doing anything they said. We kind of had a new consultant guide and I did everything it said to do. I just did whatever it said to do. That is a Browns helmet in the back. And it's Brian's. I was looking at it right before I went live and I was like, I should really move that because that is not where it belongs, but whatever. Okay. So I want to talk about how I felt in that season because so much of that matters. So when I started my business, I had a 9-month-old baby girl. I was teaching 8th grade English. She was my first baby. And also in that season, my mom had breast cancer at the same time. So I was just in a season where I desperately wanted the freedom and flexibility that came from working from home. And in all honesty, I was willing to do just about anything to make it happen. I had huge purpose in diving headfirst into this business. And as I look back at that 23-year-old version of me, I was bold. I don't think that I knew it in the moment that I was bold. And I don't know that I would have said that about myself, but I was bold. And I started thinking about that. And I started thinking, I have never seen anybody make this work who wasn't bold. I haven't. The wishy-washy, the unwilling to risk, it never works. It never works. So what is boldness? Boldness is simply the ability to take risks. The definition of bold is showing an ability to take risks, being confident and courageous. That's it. It's that simple. So we have to dive in today and decide whether or not you're being bold. I think it is a foundational piece of this business. And really, we have to decide that we're going to be bold for a purpose. So, because the truth of it is we can't be bold without purpose. We aren't bold just for boldness' sake. We aren't bold. We are bold because we have good work to do. And I truly believe that each of you has good work to do in this industry and in this business, and not even in the business, but what's going to produce out of the work that you do here is what we're really after. Okay. So, but we've got to decide why we're being bold. For me in that season, when I was 23 years old, new mom, fairly new wife, we've been married for 3 years at the time. Just all the things we were transversing or walking through. Transversing, is that the right? I don't think that's a word. Whatever, it's fine. I needed to build a business that would replace my teaching income so I could raise my baby girl and have the freedom and the flexibility to be there for my mom in the middle of her cancer journey, because I didn't have that. And I needed it. I desperately needed it. Brian and I were talking through what we were talking about today. And he was like, you got to talk about the difference between a need and a want. Some of you have told me over and over again, I want this business to work. I want X, Y, and Z. I want. There's a difference in need and want. I needed this business to work. I was just in this situation where I realized I can't live like this. Like, I can't live in a job that's going to keep me from my baby girl and keep me from being the person, the daughter, the wife, the mom, everything that I need to be for everybody else, and let alone for myself too, right? There was this desperate, desperate need. And so the question becomes like, what do you need? Is there a deep need in your life? And I think that we have talked through this so many times. If you have watched more than probably 3 of these videos, you've heard me talk about why the why matters so much. When people who have done this for years get stuck, it's usually because they have lost the vision. They've lost their why. They don't know what the need is anymore. They want to make it work. They want to promote. They want something that has to do with the business, some sort of success there, but there is not a need. There's not this big why driving them. So what do you need? Not just what you want. I asked you what you want last week, and what you want matters. But what you want is usually pushing towards a greater need. So if I were to say like what I wanted in that season, I wanted to make enough money to replace my teaching income. That's what I wanted. What I needed, I needed just to be a work-at-home mom. I needed freedom and flexibility. I needed to set my own rules. I was only in my first year of teaching, and I loved teaching, but I very quickly saw that it didn't matter how good I was at my job. I could be the very best teacher in the whole world. Not that I was, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I could get better and better and better and better and better. And I would never make more money than the person in the room next to me, even if all they did was pass out worksheets all day and not teach. So there was this thing inside me that I needed like this drive too of like, if I work harder, I want to make more money. If I get better at what I'm doing, I want to make more money. Like, I wanted that cycle of growing, becoming better, and being compensated for that. And that's what this business is. I didn't know it at the time, but now I can look back and see, oh, that's exactly what this business is. And it's what I needed. Okay. So our wants can help drive us to our needs, but they are different things. And if you only have a want, it's going to be really hard for you to make this work. And it's going to be really hard for you to be bold in this business. Okay. So I got a little off my notes, but it's fine. Sometimes I don't ever have notes. Lately I have notes. Okay. So I want you to just for 1 second, I want you to think about your business and the way that you're running it and the things that you're doing. And I want to ask you if you're being bold. I just want you to be honest with yourself. This is not a question that you have to answer here. It's an internal rhetorical question that I want you to answer. Are you being bold? And if you're not, why not? And if you are, why? What is the purpose behind the boldness? What is the vision? What are you fighting for? What is the need that's driving the work that you're doing? Are you being bold? Reflect on it for a second. Stop whatever else you're doing and reflect on it for a second. Are you being bold? If you are, why? If you're not, why not? Okay? It's vital that you answer that question. We cannot be bold without purpose. So if you're saying, yeah, Allison, honestly, like, I'm not very bold in my business, I would have to ask you what it is you're working for. What is the need? There's no reason to be bold if you're just working for a paycheck or just because. There's no need for it. You don't have to be bold. You don't have to take risks. You don't have to put yourself out there. And so therefore you won't. Okay? You've got to know the why, the need to make the moves. You have to know why you're doing this if you want to be bold in your business. So if you want to share, I'd love for you to share in the comments. What's your need? What is the need? What's the thing that is driving the action that you're taking in your business or the lack of action? What is it you really want? And from that want, what is it that you really need? I'm going to ask that it's big. I asked you hard questions last week, and I want thought out, big purpose reasons why you're here. Because you proclaiming what you really need in your life, in your business, in your marriage, in your family, in your finances, you proclaiming what you really need is boldness. But if you can't be honest with yourself about it, you're not going to be able to be honest with anybody else. And if you're not honest with yourself about it, it's not going to drive the action and the boldness that you're going to take in your business. Okay? Okay, Christy says I haven't been bold. I don't have a need. So that's what I want you to think about, Christy. Like, it matters. Having a need matters. And here's the thing, for most people, some people get in with a very, very strong need. They need to pay off their debt. They need to something. But behind those like tangible needs is deeper need. There's deeper. Let's say, I'm going to give you this example. If somebody were to come to me and say, we have $6,000 in credit card debt that we want to pay off with this business, I'd say, amazing. That is awesome. That's a need. It's a want. That is a need too. It's a need because it's something tangible. Hold on a second. But under that is a deeper need, because the need is not necessarily about paying off the debt. It is about that, but it's bigger than that. So if I said to you, why do you want to pay off the $6,000 in credit card debt? Why? And they said, well, because if I didn't have that credit card debt, then I could take my kids on our first ever family vacation. If we weren't paying down this debt every month, we could save to go on a vacation. Why do you want to go on a vacation? Well, because we've never been on vacation. Okay. Why is it important for you to go on vacation if you've never been on vacation? And you have to keep asking yourself these questions, because it may start with a simple want that you think maybe that is a need, but you've got to push it so far until it really pushes you almost to tears. If you don't have a need that big, it's going to be really hard for you to be bold in this business. It just will be. Fact, plain, simple truth. I don't care how good you are at business. If there's not a deep need, it's going to be hard for you to be your own boss. It's going to be hard for you to be bold. It's going to be hard for you to take risks. Okay. So back to the vacation. Somebody says to me, I want to take my family on vacation. Okay, great. Why though? My daughter's 17. She's graduating next year. She's going to go to college 4 hours away. And I want tangible memories with my family. If that's the thing, that's the thing. And that is like a deep-seated need that comes out of, it's bigger. It's bigger than vacation. It's bigger than getting on a plane. It's bigger than that. It's about your family and your legacy and the things that your kids remember, right? Maybe that's the need. It started with this, I need to pay off this credit card debt. But what's the bigger purpose behind that? Some of you are so scared to go there that you sit in your mediocrity, unwilling to change and grow. And I'm saying I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with you showing up to sit in comfortable. I'm not going to do it, and I'm not going to allow you to do it either. So ask yourself the hard questions. What do I need? What is the need driving me? And it's about more than money. It's about money, yes, because money changes things for people, right? It gives us freedom. It gives us flexibility. It gives us experiences, all of those things. It's about something bigger than that, though. Tell me what the bigger thing is, okay? That's what I want from you.
Real quick, so I'm looking at all these comments. We had no plan for me to jump in here, but can I real quick just to say something?
Yeah, it's sort of weird you're sitting like that. That's fine.
Sorry, I'm just kneeling. So here's the deal. A lot of you guys are so close. Like I've seen people say, I want my husband to be able to retire. I want to help build mental health facilities to be able to fill in a gap that's much needed, and all these things. And those are all very noble, very incredible things. But you guys have to figure out the conflict that you are solving by doing those things. So if someone said, my husband's worked for 30 years in the same industry, he deserves a break. Yes, he does. But what does he deserve a break from? What is that going to allow you guys to do? How much closer is that going to allow you to be as a couple? You have to start thinking about those things and writing those things down. The things that are intangible that money alone can't buy, but that money in this business will provide. So like money doesn't provide you and your husband to be closer, but the repercussion of the money and getting him out of his stressful job and the time, that allows you guys to be closer. So that's what you have to break. You have to break it all the way down to the thing that literally makes you cry because it's something that's out of your reach right now. And that has to be the thing. So someone said, I need to make a certain amount of money. Okay, great. But why? And then break it all the way down to how it's going to change your relationships, how it's going to change your lifestyle, the closeness it's going to create in your family and your legacy and all of those things. That's the part that you have to drive all the way down to that helps you get out of bed every day, work hard, bust through the walls that are inevitable and always going to be there and those kinds of things. So I just saw those comments and I was like, yeah, some of them are so close. But
thanks, babe. Don't close the door now. The dog's in here. Okay. So boldness, it's necessary, it's important, and it comes from a deep-seated need. Boldness is the ability to take risks. We have to be willing to risk if we want to grow and change. And the thing about change and growth, I will never stop saying this business is really about personal growth, period. It's about you growing and changing. You growing and changing will involve risk. And that means it will involve you being bold. Always, every stinking time. I had the opportunity, this is a kind of a tangent. I had the opportunity to spend a week with 12 amazing women last year. And one of the craziest things happened that week. What I think intended to be a retreat, like business centered, it was not at all. It turned into a personal growth journey for each one of us, and including myself. And what was born out of that, like them focusing on getting themselves better. And not because they were not good, but because we're all broken. We are all broken. And until we realize that we are broken and we see our brokenness, we can't grow, change, become bold, all of those things. But I think them all focusing on getting better at being them, and not even that. Here's the part that I think is vital is I'm asking you, this is what I asked them and myself, I'm not asking you to change who you are. I'm asking you to step into who you are. I'm asking you to be honest with yourself about what you want. I'm asking you to be bold enough to say, not only is this what I want, this is what I need. And I need it so bad that I'm willing to be bold. I'm willing to take risks. I'm willing to put myself out there to change, to grow, to have something tangible to show for that boldness, right? So watching them be bold in that personal growth journey, I think, was transformational for me. Not only that, because later I got to see 7 out of those 12 women earn top 150 spots in an incentive. What? And we didn't talk about business. We talked about personal growth because you matter. You standing up and stepping into who you are matters. It matters so much. I cannot pull away the tie from personal growth and this business. They are interlinked. They will always be interlinked. So this process of saying, I'm going to stand up and be bold, I'm going to be honest about what I want and what I need, is going to create momentum and change in your business. Okay, that's my tangent on the why and being bold. So here's the other thing. That first year of my business, not only that, I didn't just have this deep-seated why, this need, I was bold, but the other thing is I figured out the what. So let's talk about the what. So some of you have already asked, like, okay, what do I do to be bold? What things do I do to be bold? What does boldness look like in your business? We talked about the why. First step is being honest about what you need and what you want. The what, that's the next step, focusing on the what. What tangible steps do we need to take? What things do you need to do what things do you need to boldly chase in your business? So this is one of those things that's never changed. 12 years ago, the things that we needed to chase are still the same things we need to chase now, okay? We'll get to the how in a minute, which has changed, but the what has not changed. The things that we need to change chase have not changed. What do we need to chase? Product. What does that mean? You need to market and sell product. It needs to be one of the tasks that you boldly chase in your business. It is foundational for every other part of this business. You cannot effectively grow a team without selling product. You cannot effectively step into leadership without selling product. It's always started with product. It will always end with product. You need to market and sell product. This is one of the things that we are going to boldly chase. So not only do you need to market and sell product, but you need to track what you're selling and how. And you need to set a monthly goal of how much product you're selling. This is foundational. This is basic, but it's vital. It was vital then. It's vital now. And I don't know why I decided that I was going to chase product, but I needed to chase product, and you need to chase product too. You need to figure out how you're going to sell it. You need to figure out how much you're going to sell, and then you need to do it. Okay? One of the reasons we need to track is because what gets tracked gets repeated. So tracking is vital. We're going to talk a lot about tracking in the next 20 minutes, but tracking is vital. So we're going to track product. It's one of the things that we are going to boldly chase. The other thing, the other way that we're going, if you said, what do I do to be bold? Product, people. People is number 2. This is the other thing that we are going to boldly step into, people. You've got to chase people in this business, not like chasing on the playground, tagging, not that. This part has never changed. This business is about people. It will always be about people. It is foundational. People are foundational to creating exponential growth in your business and your income. You need other people to partner with to grow. Now, those people may come in the form of potential team members. They may be influencers who want to support you. They may be potential hosts who want to share your product with their friends and their family. But you have got to chase and track people. I talk a lot about list building. List building matters. What is the list that we're building? It's people. And you can dissect this any way that you want. And you can say, well, I don't like tracking people. You have to track people. People matter. And if people matter, we need to track them. So what are we going to do to be bold in our business? We are going to chase product. And that means we're going to sell it and we're going to track it. We're going to chase people. That means we have to be constantly building that list. We have to be constantly networking ourselves to bring people into us. We'll talk about how in a minute, but this is the what. What are we doing? Product, people, and the other one is progress. We need to chase progress. So 3 things in the what: product, people, progress. Got it? Product, people, progress. Never going to change. Always been the same. We have to boldly chase progress in this business. Because if you are not progressing, you are standing still or you are going backwards. And we are not going to do either one of those things. We are going to progress. Okay. All that progress is it's forward onward movement towards a destination. It's all that it is. Remember the why that we talked about, the need, the thing that's driving everything you're doing, the thing that's giving you boldness. That's the destination. That's where we're going. The destination is not a title. We are going to track that. We're going to keep track of that. But the destination is the need, the why, the thing that's moving you to be bold. You have to be able to track your progress towards that destination. Because if I can't track my progress towards the destination, how am I going to know that I'm doing the right things to get closer? I'm not going to. And I'm going to spin my wheels and I'm going to get frustrated. Some of you are there. You haven't been tracking your progress. And so you are frustrated because you don't know where you stand. You don't know if you're getting closer or not. Okay. So maybe all that sounds really great. And maybe you're thinking, how do I do all that? Important questions. Talked about the why. The why is the need that's driving the boldness you need in your business. We talked about the what. We're going to focus on people, product, and progress. I said product, people, and progress. It doesn't matter. We're focusing on those 3 things. The what is product, people, and progress. Okay. So how do we do it? How do I be bold in my business? How do I make change in my business? If we want to be bold and make progress, we need a why, we need the what. The what is product, people, and progress, and we need a how. So I mentioned tracking earlier, and we're gonna dive into that a little bit. If I did anything well in that first year, it was tracking. I was tracking what I was selling and to who. I was tracking who was coming into the business and why. And I was tracking my progress. So what does tracking look like? Now, this is one of those things that has definitely changed from 12 years ago. But what worked then actually still works now. It just depends on who you are and how you function. So I had old school notebooks. I showed you this one, like old school notebook. This is me tracking product. Yep, sure was. And this notebook, which I just still really love, was people. And I'm going to show you, like, I went through this and I was like, wow, people. I was tracking people who was coming into the business. I was tracking product sales. I was also tracking promotions, which is vital in this business. That's one of our forms of progress, right? If we can track promotions, both yours and your team members, then we're going to be more aware of what's happening. Remember, what gets tracked gets repeated. If we can't see something, how do we know if it's good or bad? And some of you don't track on purpose, right? Am I right? You don't track on purpose because if you were tracking, you would know that you're falling short. And so you just don't. Well, I can't see it, so it doesn't matter. No, it still matters. It still matters whether you're tracking it or not. You're just choosing to be oblivious to it. No, you have got to start tracking. And what gets tracked is going to get repeated. What we focus on grows, right? So we're going to choose to track the things that matter. We're going to track the things that I said are the what. We're going to track people, we're going to track progress, and we're going to track product. And that means product sales, okay? We have got to be tracking. Okay, let me get back to my notes because I got off on a tangent, which I typically do. Let me get off my soapbox. Okay. Old school notebooks will still work. If this works for you, I am still an advocate of writing things on paper. There is very incredible brain science out there about why it works and how it works and why it matters. But if you're not a writer, if you don't want to write things on paper, that's fine. And the digital world is amazing. Now we have spreadsheets and we have Google Docs and we have apps and we have all kinds of things that can help you track. But the point is you have to be tracking somewhere. What you track matters and what you track will grow. If you're being honest about it, if you're actually tracking. So we're going to track product sales, both yours and your team's. You're going to track people. What people are coming into the business? What people are you adding to your list? How are you networking? How are you focusing, right? Track. We have to track people. We need to track progress. That will probably mean tracking promotions, tracking increases. We're going to track our progress. When back that first year, I was just ignorantly blissful. It's what gave me some boldness. There was a deep-seated need, but I was bold. I used our compensation plan to track. I didn't know how else to track. So the compensation plan says, this is the first title. This is what you do to get to the first title. After you do that, you go to the next one and then the next one, right? That's what I used to track my progress, was the compensation plan. I knew how much money I wanted to make to replace my income. And I knew that the higher that I advanced, the more money I would make. So I tracked my progress towards each new promotion. And this is so vital. Once I reached one goal, one promotion, I set a new one. Some of you stopped setting goals so long ago that you're just allowing yourself to sit in comfortable mediocrity and be okay with being okay. I'm not okay with you being okay anymore. I'm not. The frustration you feel, the tension you feel, the inner angst you feel, is a direct result of you choosing not to rise. It is a direct result of you choosing to sit in comfort, of you choosing to not be bold. Boldness is a choice. It is a choice that comes from a need. If you're not going to be honest about what you need, if you're not going to be honest about the why, you are not going to be willing to be bold. And you're going to sit in comfort. What's funny and what's so crazy to me about comfort is comfort seems to feel good until it doesn't, right? You're like, oh, like I'm really comfortable. Like this feels good until it stops feeling good. Do you know why it stops feeling good? Because you are a human being made for growth and change. You were designed and created to grow and change, to continue to progress, to continue to get better. In the Christian world, we call that sanctification, becoming more like Christ. You were made to grow and change. And when we stop the process, and I promise you, we all stop the process at some point. So I'm not trying to make you feel bad about stopping the process of growth. I'm not. Let's acknowledge it for what it is. But when you choose to stop the progress of growth and sit in comfort, you are literally keeping yourself from being who you were made to be. And it feels good until it doesn't anymore. The angst, the anxiety, the frustration, the irritability, the tension, it's you sitting in comfort. It's you choosing not to be bold. You have got to make the choice to say, I'm going to grow. I'm going to change. I'm not going to be afraid because this is what I was made for. All of us will stall ourselves out. All of us will choose to say, this is as far as I can go. I can't take anymore. I can't do anymore. I can't take anymore. I can't be anymore. You've thought that, right? I've thought it 100,000 times. But you can only sit in that for so long without knowing deep in your gut that you've got to stand back up. Sometimes you have got to stand back up. We are going to track progress because progress matters. Now, listen, this is not me saying, I don't want you to rest. I don't want you, no, not that at all. I am the queen of rest. I've gotten so good at rest. It's like a beautiful gift in my life. And we're going to talk more about rest. And definitely everybody on the email list, we are talking so much more about rest. It is a gift. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is we learn to rest well, but rest and comfort are two different things. Rest and mediocrity are drastically two different things. Okay? We are going to track progress because progress is what changes us and it's what changes our business. I don't care how you do it, but you're going to be honest about it. The reason we don't track is because we don't want to see the truth. Tracking pushes us into seeing the truth. I was tracking from the very first day. And like I said, it really doesn't matter how you do it. It doesn't matter how. It is not about the how. It's about the fact that you're actually tracking. I don't know if you can see that. I don't know. Yeah, you can. Okay. Do you see that calendar back there? It's a chalkboard. I have had that since my first year. It's a chalkboard that I write on with like that chalk pin. And every single month from the day that I joined this business, I have used an old school calendar to track my progress, to track my goals, to track people, to track progress, to track product. Every single stinking month over the past 12 and a half years. Every single one of them. This business does not require you to be really great at any one thing. This business asks of you to be consistent, to be bold. Okay? Consistency is what will take you far. Part of that consistency will come from you deciding to track. Okay. got on a really big tangent with the tracking, but it matters. Okay. Oh, I know what got me on the tangent. I said once I reached a goal, I set a new one. Yes, once I reached a goal, I set a new one. Vital. You cannot set one goal and expect this business to work. Nope. You have to set goal after goal after goal. We're tracking progress. Okay. And remember, tracking shows us our weaknesses as well as our strengths. And if we're going to grow and we're going to stand up, we got to see where we're weak and where we're strong. Okay. So being bold. I think the thing that I look back at in that first year of business is I was just bold. And I wasn't bold because I was brave. I really wasn't brave. I was bold because I had a deep-seated need. I needed to make this work. I didn't see any other option out of my situation or my circumstances. So I needed to make this work. And I want to talk about circumstances for a second. This is a conversation I have so many times when coaching is circumstance, situation. Listen, sometimes we cannot control the things around us, right? But you know what you can control is you. You can control the way you react to things. You can control the way you step into and up through things. You can control that. You having a need and choosing to be bold is you saying, I'm going to do my very best to control this situation. Your circumstances are not an excuse. Your circumstances are a call to rise. Period. Your circumstances are not an excuse. Your circumstances are a call to rise. Your circumstances are a call to stand up. Your circumstances are a situation that's asking you to grow. Grow through it. Don't sit in it. I don't want to hear you complain about it. You can have a 1 minute pity party. That's what I'm going to, 1 minute. You can cry for 1 minute about it. And then do you know what I want you to do? I want you to stand up. I want you to get up and use your circumstances, however crappy they are, to say, this is the need that I have. And because I have this need, I'm going to be bold in this business. Because I've got something I've got to do. I've got something I was made to do. And is it going to be hard? Probably. Do I know every step of the way right now? No. Do not stall out because you can't see the end. You're not supposed to see the end. Faith is taking steps when you don't know where you're going. I'm asking you to be bold. I'm asking you to take risks. It is the thing that will help this business drive forward. You will not make this work if you're not willing to be bold. So you have to ask yourself some questions. Am I going to be bold? Am I willing to risk? I can't answer it for you. Am I going to sit in my circumstance and let it be the excuse that I've let it be for years and years and years? I don't care what the circumstance is. You know what I've watched? I've watched the most amazing women use this business to stand up out of a circumstance that they had no control over. Crap happens to all of us. We are all broken. Do not pretend that you are the only one hurting. Do not pretend that you are the only one walking through crap. When we get so self-centered that we think we're the only ones, we have lost our perspective. You are not the only one. We are all broken. We have all hurt. We have all had things that we just flat out didn't like happen to us. I'm asking you to use those things to stand up. Do something about it. I know you can't control everything. I can't either. But there are things you can control, and you can make your mind up to be bold, to take a risk, to say with confidence, this is what I'm doing. And this is who I am. Listen, I am not saying that you were born to be a direct sales rock star. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you were born to shine. I am saying you were born to light the world, to change it. You, me, the person sitting next to you, your children, your spouse, We have work to do. When did we think that? I don't know when we started thinking that our actions didn't matter. Our actions matter. They matter huge. They matter big. They're not going to stop mattering. One drop in a body of water can create ripples that change not only one person or two people, but hundreds and thousands, millions of people. Do I believe you have that kind of power? Yeah, I really do. I really do. Do I believe I have that kind of power? Yeah, I really do. You know what happens when you stand up and start believing who you were made to be? Everything changes. Everything changes. You might not be able to change your circumstance. You might not be able to change the things that are happening around you, but you can change you. Back then, when I started this business, when I jumped in full force saying, I'm going to do it, I didn't know I was being bold, but I was being bold. And I was being bold because I had to be bold. What do you have to be bold for? What's the need that's going to drive you into saying, yeah, I'm kind of risky. Yeah, I'm kind of crazy. Yeah, I'm willing to do things to change my life, my family's life, and the lives of the people around you. What is it that's going to push you towards that? We're going to be bold because we have a driving force behind why we're doing what we're doing. We're going to be bold by focusing on the what, which is people, product, and progress. And then we're going to be bold. How? By tracking. Sounds stupid and simple. I promise you it's not. It's transformational. What we track is what will grow. And tracking opens our eyes to see what's actually happening. Open your eyes and be honest about what's happening in your business. Nothing's happening. That's your fault. Stand up. Do something about it. Things aren't working. Change something. You get to decide. You and you alone. Not me. You. Are you going to be bold? Here's your action step. Gosh, I love you. Here's your action step. Be bold. I don't care if you have to, oh, look, write it on a Post-it note. This is in my office. Because here's the thing. You're not going to always feel bold. I'm going to say you're going to hardly ever feel bold. You're going to have to tell yourself over and over again that this is who you are. That this is who you are. That you are bold. That you are not afraid. That you were born to do this. That you were made to grow and change. So, action step. Be bold. Do something bold in your business for a purpose. Start tracking. With boldness and purpose comes power. We're going to talk a lot about power next week. There's good, bad, ugly, beautiful to power. We're going to talk about all of it. You are powerful, and your power will come from being bold with a purpose. We are not bold just for boldness' sake. We're not loud just to be loud. We are bold and we take risks for a reason. Boldness with purpose. Boldness plus purpose equals power. That's what we're focused on. This week, I want you focused on boldness. Be bold with a purpose. Do something bold and start tracking. Period. I do not care how you do it. All I care is that you do it. Can't fix what we can't see. Okay. I love y'all. Thanks for joining me. I don't even know when we're live next. Let me try to tell you. Next Thursday. Oh, same time next week. Next Thursday, March 5th, 11 a.m. Central Time. We're going to be live again. I would love for you to share what you're doing. So on the page, if you want to talk about how you're tracking, what you're using to track, if you want to talk about your purpose behind your boldness, let's talk about that. Let's have those conversations. Remember, we're going to track people, we're going to track progress, we're going to track product, and we're going to continue to track those things forever and ever. How you do it is up to you. I love y'all. Remember this, going boldly is simply our attempt at being better, getting better, growing. You were made to grow. If you're feeling tense, if you're feeling anxious, if you're feeling frustrated, it's time to stand up. It's time to stand up and walk in boldness. Love you. Hope you have a great rest of your Thursday. And I hope I get to see you next week at 11 o'clock Central on a Thursday morning. So talk to you then. It would be great if I could just like have a very, very theatrical close, but I can't. So we're saying goodbye to YouTube first because I was on YouTube first. See you later, YouTube. And then we're